Unlocking the hidden truths of the soul. Why the spirit chooses addiction. I never expected a single dream to change everything. But there I was, standing at the edge of a dark forest, the trees whispering secrets I couldn't quite understand. It felt like a shroud of energy enveloped me, pulling me towards the unknown. My heart raced. I was caught between fear and curiosity, a tug of war within my soul. What was this place? And why did it feel so familiar yet so foreign? The air crackled with a strange intensity. In that moment, I was grappling with my own reality. I had spent years lost in a fog of addiction, trying to escape my own mind. I thought I knew myself, but all I felt was emptiness. Day after day, I would chase that fleeting high, each time falling deeper into a pit I didn't know how to climb out of. My reflection in the mirror showed a ghost of who I used to be. I often wondered if I was living or just existing. As I stood there, the ground shimmered under my feet, pulses of vibrant colors merging into one another, like the dance of flames. Nature spoke in riddles, fluttering leaves that seemed to nod in encouragement, each breeze carrying the weight of unanswered questions. The sounds around me blended together, a distant rustle, the haunting call of an owl, the whisper of my own heart echoing in my ears. Signs? Or just my chaotic imagination? I focused on my breathing, each inhale deepening my connection to the mysterious energy surrounding me. I prayed for guidance, my thoughts swirling like the clouds overhead. Was this the moment I was meant to awaken? To break free from the chains that held me hostage? The possibility sent shivers down my spine, a mixture of hope and fear. I felt alive in a way I hadn't for years, but darkness lingered, a shadow waiting for the slightest slip to pull me back down. And then it happened. A vision, brief but blinding. A figure emerging from the fog, glowing with a light that consumed the darkness. A presence so deep I could feel it tugging at my very essence. Who was this? Was it a guide, a warning, or a reflection of my fears? My heart pounded with a mixture of anticipation and dread. But the figure vanished as quickly as it appeared, leaving me gasping in the stillness. The questions flooded my mind. What did it mean? Was I being called to confront something I had buried deep within? Or was this just another mirage, a cruel joke of my desperate mind? Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon, and while you're there, smash that like button. It really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. As I stood still, the forest began to shift around me, mirroring the turmoil within. The figments of swirling colors coalesced into shapes, delicate silhouettes of mythical creatures emerging from the underbrush. What had felt like a deepened reality now seemed to transform into something fantastical, and I felt the veil between my consciousness and this ethereal realm thin with each blink. I sensed that the secrets of my existence lay hidden within this enchanted woods, buried beneath layers of pain and longing. A sudden rustle caught my attention, drawing my gaze to a creature unlike any I had ever encountered. It was a deer, its coat shimmering with iridescent shades, eyes reflecting the vast cosmos. It approached slowly, as if waiting for my soul to catch up to its grace. My heart stirred with recognition. It was as if this being held memories of hope for me, flickering with the certainty of a path untaken. I felt compelled to follow. With each step, the forest unfurled itself, as if conspiring to reveal its wonders. Bright flowers bloomed along the path, their petals glinting in colors so vibrant I could hardly comprehend the spectrum. As I passed, whispers floated through the air, snippets of hidden truths flickering against the soundtrack of my fears. To live is to dream, to fight the shadows and dance with the light, they seemed to say. Remember who you are. I couldn't help but wonder, was my addiction merely a shadow cast on the canvas of my soul? A dark companion that had grown fat on my despair? Or was it possible that in my dance with this darkness, I had unwittingly discovered facets of my own spirit. In my struggles, I felt an echo of clarity. Perhaps this journey I was on was not solely about the fight to escape the clutches of addiction, but about facing the chasm that lay within me, a chasm filled with long-forgotten dreams and unexpressed truths. Suddenly, I was dazzled by a bright light emerging from a nearby grove. Its intensity drew me closer, igniting a sense of peace I hadn't felt in years. As I stepped into the clearing, I found myself surrounded by a dozen luminous orbs, each pulsating gently, radiating warmth like a heartbeat. They hovered in the air, drifting like dandelion seeds caught in a gentle breeze. It felt as if these orbs were vestiges of my past, reminders of the moments that had shaped meth love I had lost, the dreams I had pursued, the battles I had fought. I reached out to touch one, and in an instant, visions flooded my mind. The faces of loved ones long gone, laughter shared with friends. The innocent joy of childhood moments lit up like stars against the night. But along with the happiness came the sorrow-lost opportunities, regrets that gnawed at my edges, the bitter tang of loneliness I had masked with substances. As the visions played out, a realization burrowed deeper within me. Every instance of joy was entwined with pain, a duality that was part of the human experience. The orbs seemed to ripple in acknowledgement, a testament to my existence woven from both light and shadow. Embrace the spectrum, they whispered in unison, their chorus resonating in the quiet thump of my heart. For in acceptance lies the key to freedom. Tears streamed down my face as I stood enveloped by their tender embrace of energy and understanding. Would it truly be that simple? Could the acceptance of my darkness lead to transformation? A glimmer of hope ignited within me, bursting forth like a phoenix rising from its ashes. Yet, even as my heart soared with possibility, I couldn't shake a persistent question echoing like a drumbeat. Could I remain steadfast in this journey? Or would old patterns rear their heads, ensnaring my spirit once again? With that unresolved thought hovering in my mind, the forest began to dim, the light of the orbs fading into the twilight of the evening. As I made my way back towards the darkened path, I felt the presence of the deer linger nearby, as if urging me to remember this moment, this awakening, and to carry it forth into my waking life. What other hidden truths lay before me, waiting to be unlocked? As the shadows stretched across the forest, I resumed my journey, guided by the still echo of the luminous orbs. The sense of space around me felt charged with an anticipation, as if the very ground beneath my feet was shifting to accommodate my budding awareness. Each step forward bore the weight of a question that seemed to linger in the cool air. What lay ahead, and what more could I uncover about the essence of my soul? The whisper of the wind grew gentle yet insistent, unfolding melodies that carried hints of guidance. As I walked, I felt a soft tug at my spirit, compelling me toward a cluster of ancient trees set deep in the woods. Twisted trunks reached for the heavens while their thick canopies intertwined, forming a protective embrace. This place, steeped in history and wisdom, called to me with an urgency I couldn't ignore. In this sacred grove, I paused, letting the tranquility seep into my being. It enveloped me like a mother's embrace, welcoming my weary heart. As I looked around, I noticed a large, gnarled tree at the center, its roots sprawling like veins through the earth, pulsating with life. I approached it, feeling an inexplicable kinship. There was a quiet power in its presence, a testament to resilience woven through centuries, standing firm against storms and tribulations. I placed my palm against the rough bark, and the moment felt electric alive. An overwhelming rush of emotions surged within me, a kaleidoscope of stories begging to be heard. Images floated through my mind, entangled with roots that seemed to echo my own whirlpool of experiences. I saw my struggles, but alongside them blossomed moments of triumph, the threads of courage entwined with the fibers of despair. Come closer. A soft voice sprang forth from the core of the tree. At first, I thought it was a trick of my imagination, a merging of the mystical with my reality. But as I leaned in, the bark appeared to pulse with a rhythm that synced with my own heart. You seek understanding, and I shall reveal what you need. In that moment, the ground shimmered, channeling currents of light and shadow. As I focused my gaze, faces emerged from the patterns in the bark, fragments of ancestors, forgotten mentors, and even reflections of my past selves. Each image told stories of hope, dreams dashed and resurrected. With every layer revealed, I felt an intensified connection to the very fabric of my existential lineage, woven through wounds and wisdom, a tapestry intertwined with struggle and resilience. What do I need to know? I whispered, feeling vulnerable in the face of ancient knowledge. To know oneself is to understand the shadows. The tree replied, its voice rich with earthiness and wisdom. Addiction is both a refuge and a prison. It is born from a yearning to escape pain but can lead to deeper disconnection from your essence. When you flee, you miss the valuable lessons pain has to offer. The truth lies within the struggle. Within facing what you flee from, I felt a shiver run through me, a familiar ache resurfacing like a tide. Could it be that my attempts to drown my sorrows were robbing me of essential lessons? Each struggle, each fleeting encounter with darkness was a teacher masked by discomfort, not an adversary to be vanquished. What then should I embrace? I asked, grappling with the influx of wisdom ebbed in the words of this ancient spirit. Embrace vulnerability, for it harbors strength. Seek connection amidst the chaos of your sorrow. Each layer of pain sheds light on truths that reveal your spirit's deepest desires. Without it, you risk yielding to a void, the tree imparted, its branches swaying gently as if to reinforce the urgency of its message. That I took a step back, feeling an amalgamation of relief and trepidation well up within me. The shadows I had long evaded were not mere foes. They were guides illuminated by the light of understanding. And within that understanding lay a pivotal question. How could I begin to transform this knowledge into action in the world beyond the forest? As twilight deepened around me, the first stars began to wink above, flickering across the canvas of the sky. I clung to the essence of this moment, this conversation, the presence of the ancient tree, and the kinship I felt. As I walked away from the grove, my heart echoed with a quiet resolve. But just as soon as hope thrummed within me, another question arose with profound clarity. Would I have the courage to embrace the lessons that lay hidden in the heart of my shadows? And could I forge a new path that transformed pain into purpose, weakness into wisdom? The forest, alive and magical, held the answers just beyond my reach, and I felt the journey ahead pulse with endless possibilities. The whispers of the night surrounded me as I ventured deeper into the forest, a mosaic of sounds accompanying my every step. The deeper I went, the more I felt the presence of the unseen, as if the very air was thick with the echoes of those who had tread this path before me. Lanterns of fireflies illuminated patches of the forest floor, guiding my way like tiny beacons of hope in the gathering dark. I carried with me the weight of the tree's words, its wisdom weaving through my thoughts like a river carving its way through the land. The shadow of doubt lingered, and with it, a yearning to decode my connection to addiction. What fueled this incessant pursuit of distraction? And how could I transform it into something that spoke to my higher self? Eventually, I found myself at a clearing bathed in moonlight, where the silhouette of a large stone stood majestically at its center. The stone felt alive, almost breathing, as though it had witnessed millennia of human existence, imbibing the sorrow, joy, and everything in between. Approaching it, I sensed an energy emanating from the ancient rock, whispering secrets only the truly receptive could hear. As I placed my palm against its cold surface, I was met not only with the chill of the stone but also with warm memories of laughter and camaraderie, fragments of the love I sometimes felt estranged from. The stone began to resonate, and I was struck by a Visiona tapestry of human connections flaring to life, woven from threads of shared experiences. Each encounter, each bond held an invitation to heal, yet I had been retreating, choosing solitude over connection, distraction over presence. Then, like the crashing of a wave, a thought washed over me. Could addiction be a manifestation of my longing for connection, a misguided attempt to fill the void left by disconnection? The more I grappled with this notion, the more clarity emerged, vibrating through the very core of my being. The stone radiated with a profound voice that echoed within the stillness of the night. All things crave connection, both joy and sorrow. Addiction seeks companionship. It offers a temporary embrace that masks the longing for true connection. Recognize this pain, for it is the crux of your journey. Tears pooled in my eyes, heavy with recognition. Just as my struggles flowed from the depths of my being, so too did my desire for closeness. My fear of vulnerability had been a wall, yet here it was stripped bare by this rock's quiet advocacy. Each moment I sought reprieve was an opportunity lost to lean into the discomfort and invite in the love that surrounded me. Embrace your vulnerability, seeker of truth, the stone reminded me, its words wrapping around my heart like a warm blanket. Reach out amidst the tempest. Let connections spark anew. For in your openness lies the path to transformation. As I lowered my gaze, the soft glow of the fireflies began to dance in patterns, swirling around me, urging me to let this wisdom take root. Yet, just as realization dawned, an unsettling uncertainty surfaced. How could I shift the course of my tides so expertly navigated by the past? What was the first step I must take to convert the shadow into light? With the moon illuminating fragments of the night, creating an ethereal glow, I felt a rush of exhilaration mingled with fear. Transforming addiction into connection required courage, a leap of faith into the unknown, and I felt the pull of possibility forge a path beneath my feet as I left the stone's presence. A new flame flickered in my heart, igniting a newfound sense of purpose. The forest shifted around me, whispering promises of guidance as the journey unfolded. Though I now had glimpses into the hidden truths of my soul, a deeper question loomed, a question that encapsulated everything I learned in the grove and from the stone. What does it truly mean to connect, not only with others but also with the essence of my own fragile spirit? And in overcoming the shadows that bind me, would I discover a radiant light that beckoned forth the beauty of transformation? The answers still eluded me, shimmering just beyond the veil of the night, but I pressed onward, curious and ever eager for the revelations yet to come. As I moved away from the clearing, a palpable shift in the atmosphere enveloped me, though I scarcely noticed at first. The sounds of the forest, typically a soothing backdrop, now vibrated with an urgency, each rustle in the underbrush and whispering branch an unsung ode to my awakening. The fireflies had dwindled, replaced by the bright gaze of the stars, their brilliance illuminating an intricate web of possibilities shimmering overhead. The echoes of the stone's wisdom lingered in my mind, guiding me like a trusted companion on this winding path. I wandered deeper into the heart of the woods, where shadows lurked and the magnitude of my thoughts danced in tandem with the flickering light. Each step felt heavier, laden with the weight of expectation me own, as well as the embrace of a universe awaiting my response. Suddenly, a noise broke the stillness, drawing my attention to a figure emerging from the trees. A woman cloaked in a flowing garment of earthy tones stood before me, her hair cascading like a dark waterfall down her back, cradled by the silver glow of the night. Her eyes sparkled with a depth that reflected 1,000 stories, and she inclined her head in a gesture that welcomed me into her reality. Do not fear, seeker. Her voice caressed the air like a gentle breeze. I am the guardian of truth, custodian of the lessons that lie hidden within the folds of your spirit. You have wandered far, and now it is time to uncover more than has been whispered to you. A sense of calm enveloped me, even as a series of questions blossomed within my heart, a wild garden of curiosity. What truths do you hold? What knowledge waits to be revealed? The guardian smiled softly, gliding closer, her presence mirroring the harmony of the forest around us. You grasped fleeting insights beneath the stone, yet there is more to know about your dance with addiction. It is a thread woven into the very fabric of your being, but it does not solely define you. Let us explore the roots of this connection. As she spoke, she reached for my hand, and I felt an electric current pulse between us, bridging our two worlds. The forest faded, enveloping us in swirling colors, the iridescent echo of emotions, moments, and memories that danced in patterns unknown. I saw flashes of my past, the highs and crushing lows, intermingled with laughter and tears. Every addiction takes the form of a longing void yearning to be filled, she explained, her voice flowing seamlessly through the kaleidoscope of visions. Yet, consider this, what if the chalice you seek to fill is not rooted in the substance itself, but rather in the relationships you have nurtured or neglected? Her words struck a chord, as I felt a wave of realization wash over me. I glimpsed the hearts of those I had pushed away, friends who had once been my lifeline, family whose love had tried to wrap around my struggles. In my pursuit of quick fixes, I had overlooked the depth of their presence, those shimmering connections tethered to my soul. Can vulnerability become your strength? The guardian challenged me, the colors of memories swirling to blend into a vision of soft light. Images transformed beneath her gaze, children playing, laughter echoing, familiar faces illuminating with shared joys. In opening yourself to the world, in reclaiming those connections, lies the antidote to addiction's hold. What speaks to your yearning is community, not isolation. I wanted to grasp the magnitude of her truth, to unpack the implications of her words. An unsaid tension gripped my heart, as a wave of trepidation coursed through me. Trusting others began as daunting, yet necessary if I wished to transform the shadows. But how? How do I begin to foster those connections I fear? In your heart lies the answer, seeker, she replied, her voice echoing like the steady rhythm of a heartbeat. Start small. Take a leap into vulnerability. Begin with one gentle outreach, a conversation woven with authenticity. Each step forward will dissolve the walls you have erected. As connections bloom anew, the vision of possibility began to crystallize. I felt an unwavering determination kindle within me, desire to step beyond my self-imposed limitations, even if the path ahead remained shadowed. The guardian's ethereal presence held me steady as I contemplated the journey demanding to be undertaken. Yet even amidst the momentum of newfound purpose, an ember of doubt flickered within my mind. Would the connections forged be genuine, and would they be enough to transform the tides of this struggle? This lingering question haunted me as I started to grasp the way forward, reminiscent of the way moonlight shimmered on the forest floor. Answer, dear seeker, is but a step away, the guardian whispered, drawing me out of the depths of my uncertainty. What are you willing to risk in exchange for the connections your spirit bleeds for? In becoming vulnerable, you invite not only pain but also a vast expanse of love. As she faded back into the folds of the night, I was left standing beneath the gaze of the watchful stars, a flicker of clarity igniting within my heart as I considered the question she posed. What secrets awaited beyond the veil of vulnerability, and could embracing the unknown lead me to the bonds I so deeply craved? The stillness of the forest seemed to hold its breath, waiting for my answer, leaving me wrestling with the shadows of uncertainty. Yet the flickering flame of hope urged me onward into the ever-unfolding journey that lay before me. As the echo of the guardian's presence lingered in the ethereal air, I stood entranced by the beautifully woven tapestry of emotions that hung in the night. The leaves rustled softly, their gentle chorus harmonizing with the pulse of my heart, as if the forest itself had become a living entity, guiding me toward deeper truths. Each moment felt suspended, a delicate waltz between the known and the unknown. With trepidation, I ventured further along the winding path, reflecting on her words. The canopy above shimmered like a celestial map, beckoning me forward, urging me to unravel the threads of my insecurities and uncover hidden treasures buried within. What lay beneath layers of fear and longing? What other dimensions would unfold within me, waiting to be discovered? As I walked, the air shifted, infusing a scent of fresh earth and wildflowers. I soon came across a small brook, its laughter cascading over smooth stones, sending ripples dancing into the twilight. Kneeling by the water, I gazed into its crystalline depths, my reflection mirroring my internal struggle. In this moment of clarity, the brook seemed to speak directly to me, its babbling voice rising like a chant, whispering secrets through the currents. Every stream flows from a source, it murmured, as golden rays of moonlight illuminated its surface, creating a glimmer of hope. What is your source? What hidden truth flows within you, propelling you toward the shadows? The brook's inquiry settled in my bones, igniting a flicker of understanding. I took a deep breath, allowing the freshness of the air to fill my lungs as I searched within. My mind spiraled into reflection, the currents of grief, longing, and confusion unfolding like petals of a flower. The patterns of my past began knitting together, revealing the fears I had buried deep. My need for acceptance, validation, and love that transcended my tangible reality as I drew back from my introspection. The silvery moon cast a radiant beam, guiding my gaze to the opposite bank where a fox stood, its eyes glowing with a fierce intelligence. Intrigued, I watched as it moved gracefully, gliding across the ground